It's the Sean Widmer Podcast. It's a journal by someone that just really doesn't like to write.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, good whenever you're listening to this. It is the Sean Widmer Podcast, 15th of July, 2026. Thanks for being here. It's not a long one today. It's actually going to be a really short one. I have got a early morning event that I've got to get to for work and the Breeders' Cup, which I'm learning so much about being Lexingtonian now. The inner workings of how horse racing goes, and that their Super Bowl is called the Breeders' Cup, and it's here in Lexington this year. And so they've got a lot of events leading up to it this fall. So we've been hanging out, doing a lot of their events, and it is remarkable the amount that goes into horse racing, big horse racing events. They're big events, big money events. I'm sure it's like that with the Super Bowl too, but this one even seems more, intricate on a lot of the stuff because horse racing and gambling on horses is so, that's what it is. Football, obviously, tons of gambling on football in the Super Bowl, but the percentage of people who watch the Super Bowl and just are watching the Super Bowl for football compared to the amount of people who watch a horse race and gamble is insane. That's not even close. I bet you the majority of people who are watching these horse races are gambling on a horse or four. And so it's just crazy being part of it and getting to experience like how much goes into it, which is cool. And everyone we've dealt with there is awesome. And it's just cool. So anyways, I've got to get to this event this morning, but I wanted to fire off the podcast to make sure we get another day under our belt. And we continued trying to get this out daily, trying to get to 100 days. We shall see if we get there. Two things I wanted to mention today. Number one, I missed it last week. I mean, I didn't miss it. I knew it was happening, but I think I talked about it a little bit last summer, but this summer it's full force. I never thought there would be a year in my life where the college football video game came out where I didn't have this game within the first 48 hours of it coming out. I've told a story about going on message boards in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. Thought I was going to sneeze there, didn't. Going on message boards in the early 2000s, mid 2000s, and seeing pictures people would get with when college football 2006, NCAA football 2006, NCAA football 2007 would get released, and it would get released early. Some small video game store that wasn't one of the big chains like a Best Buy or a Circuit City. Some small store would get the game, and they would break the there it was. They would break the release date on when they're supposed to sell it. So if the game came out on July 30th, they would get the game on July 20th, and they would put it on their shelves. I would spend a Saturday. I remember a couple of them. I worked events on Saturday for the radio station. So I would go out and I'd be in Idaho. I'd be in Coeur d'Alene. I'd work this event from 9 to noon. So at noon, I would be in Idaho. I would go all over North Idaho, spend 3 hours driving through North Idaho, going into any single building that I thought sold video games, 80% of which didn't. And I would just go through and look to see if any little store had got the game and would sell it. Then I would go into Spokane. I'd go to the surrounding areas in Spokane in the evening, and I would look at all these stores there. And I did this like 4 years in a row, obviously never getting the game early, but I still kept going to the well on it. And I would just I would want this game so bad. Inevitably, what would happen is I wouldn't get the game at the store, and I'd wait with my cousin Scott, my buddy Joe, and we would go to Hastings or GameStop or whatever it was at midnight release for college football. We'd get the game, we'd speed home, and we would play it from the time we got home at 1 o'clock until midnight the next night. Just 24 hours of playing whatever entry of the college football series that it was. It's just, I devoured that game. And it's so weird because last year, I didn't end up getting the game. A lot of last year was just the fact that I had little kids, and so I knew video game time was extremely limited. This year, I still have very little kids. My video game time is extremely limited, but I have time to play the game. I could squeeze a game in here and there, and I just totally missed the release. And it's weird because right now I'm even in my head like, do I want to get it or not? And if I got a game, would I get something else? It's just weird how my as I've gotten older, I never thought I would be like this, right? My buddy Andy once told me, happy birthday's Eve to Andy. He once said, we all got together. We'd get together, I think it was to talk about college football, video game, and watch the NFL draft. And we would get together every year. And Andy's wife was pregnant, and he came in and sat down and said, we were like, oh, Andy's wife's pregnant. Like, this is a big deal for us. Last year with Andy being around all the time for these, he's like, dude, I'll have kids and nothing will change. Well, we all had kids and everything changed. So that was a miss. And it changes for good. It's not like it's bad. It's not like, oh, everything changes and this sucks. It changes for the good. Kids are great, but it does change. But we thought we were going to be big and bad. I thought with my video game love, nothing would ever change. I would be in love with video games forever. I would always get the new games. I'd play through them. And part of me still wishes that I was doing that, but I just don't have the time or money to get every single game like I used to. We got stuff going other places. Kids cost a lot of money. They cost a lot more money than video games cost, and video games are expensive. And so just the combination of that, I buy very few games. I don't know if I've bought a video game this year. And part of that reason is I know there's games I want. There's games I've seen that I want. There's a weird game, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I really want to play it. My buddy Jordan has talked highly about it. But I look at the combination of, okay, if I pay for the game, am I going to get my value out of it? Am I going to play it enough to justify the price tag? And so that's kind of my deal with college football. It's like, I know I love that series. Am I going to pay the $70? Am I going to play it enough to get the $70 worth out of it? And part of me is like, I don't know if I'm going to. I want to think I'm going to. When College Football 25 came out, I definitely did. I got in a online dynasty with Walter. He has since never invited me back to it. So he may have the game right now and may be playing it, and he just hasn't texted me. Walter is one of my good friends who I love dearly, but he is elusive. He's extremely elusive. And he's someone I would easily like to talk to every single week. And I'll call him, and it's just it's an elusive conversation. It's an elusive relationship. So Walter, call me when your time, if you got College Football 27, because I do want to hear about it. And I think it's just going to take like one or two people to get me wanting to justify buying that game. It's weird because I could go this entire year, 2026, and buy one video game. Now, it's going to be the best video game of all time, that Grand Theft Auto 6, when that comes out in November. But like I know I could go the whole year and have that be my only game. I never thought that was going to be the case for me. But here we are. Anyways, College Football 27 comes out. One of the things I love they did, and the internet won. It's sad that the internet has to win at this, but I'm hoping that they win at this way more often. I always point to Fortnite to be the people who started this. I know that's such a wrong observation, that it's way before that and it's different games. But the word microtransaction never existed in the video game world before we had like a lot of online games, obviously. Then the addition to online games and people being like, oh, we could sell, for the online portion of this game, we could sell a costume for your character for $3. And, ringtones are selling, ringback tones are selling. What can we bring into video games? Well, let's sell like cosmetic packages to the consumers. People slowly started buying them. So then video game companies are like, wait a second, we're making a ton of money on selling cosmetics. We're making more on the cosmetics than we are on the actual game. How can we change this more? And so constantly, every year, new things are, when you play a game, you've played a ton. New things that you had access to easily are behind a paywall. And I guess this year in college football, they had a ton of the stuff behind paywalls. The internet got the game last week and firmly planted their flag in, stop with the microtransactions. We will rip your game to shreds and make it so no one wants to buy it. And that is what the influencers and the internet did in a great Robin Hood act of kindness to the consumer. And a couple days ago, EA Sports was like, yeah, we hear you. And they ripped the microtransactions from a ton of the game, from the road, the Dynasty mode and the Road to Glory mode, which is their single player mode. They ripped the microtransactions, which is crazy. I just got done printing something on my 3D printer. An overnight print is done. Yes. I just thought it was a nice little win for consumers. I hate that the consumers had to stand up and say, look, you already charged us for the game. We should get the features that we always got for free. We should get them for free. I hate that the consumers had to do that, but they did it, and I'm glad that they won, and hopefully moving forward, they stop. Sports games have gotten so bogged down with microtransactions, especially in the single-player mode. NBA 2K, there's a mode you create a player, and then you try to get him to 99 overall, and you can't even move the needle on your character's progression without paying money to get it done. It's a shame. It's a real shame. Okay, the other thing I wanted to mention, I had to give some love to a fast food place I don't like, but they did something that was cool, and I just thought, okay, when you do something cool, you deserve a little bit of love. Chick-fil-A, I know a lot of people just absolutely love it. I don't know what it is. It's not necessarily for me. Maybe I'm just a burger guy. Maybe I'm a burger guy. They had a thing yesterday. My wife took the kids to it. You dress like a cow, you get a free meal. And so I was sure there was going to be a caveat to this. I was sure of it. But either way, I got home. I took some white shirts. We had some plain white shirts. And I drew on Sharpie. I really got overly crafty. I drew a Sharpie, so the whole van smelled like Sharpie, and everyone got Sharpie high. I drew little circles, like little patches, cow patches, on these white shirts. So they looked like cow shirts. So I did that on 3 shirts. My wife threw them on the kids. She got some face paint and did like the black nose on the kids. And it was great. It was super cute. They looked adorable. And so we had our 3 little cows. And so my wife took them to Chick-fil-A last night. And I was sure she was going to text me and say, okay, got to Chick-fil-A. The kids each got a 1-piece nugget for free. And then we had to buy the fries and the drink and the other 5, the fries, the drink, the other 5 chicken nuggets. But they did get 1 nugget free. I was sure that was what was going to happen. But Chick-fil-A did it up correctly. It was totally free. My wife got 3 free meals out of this deal, and then she just had to get her own. So I was amazed. I miss the days when things were free like that. I feel like anymore you get, you do something, you're on a loyalty program for a fast food place. All of a sudden you unlock a free reward, and it's an item that it definitely requires you to buy something else. And it may be free, but it's like, you are going to be required to get more. You used to get to go to a fast food place and you could win legitimately good menu items, right? You could go to Taco Bell and win a combo. Go to McDonald's, win a combo, not just one medium fry or one crunchy taco, best menu item, best fast food menu item. You would win like a good thing. But then it just changed in microtransactions, right? No, but then it changed and that wasn't the case anymore. So when Chick-fil-A did this, I thought, okay, I got to give some love to a fast food place that is not my favorite, and legitimate 3 free meals because the kids dress like cows. They got pictures with the Chick-fil-A cow. My son Woods thought it was the greatest thing of all time. My daughter, she thought that it was great to get to go to Chick-fil-A for dinner. And my son Huck got to witness a legitimate fist fight between 2 kids in the Chick-fil-A play place. And so he's living off of the fact that he survived a war. And that's what we took away from Chick-fil-A last night. All right, thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Talk to you tomorrow.